Gets the snap. Minshew on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Brock Bowers hauls it in.
Well, Brock Bowers is Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers.
He's just so savvy. He's so smooth. He's so precise with all his routes, and he punishes guys after he catches the ball as well, and that's what I love about him.
Outside, it's grabbed by Bowers. He'll take it in for the touchdown.
From the moment he stepped onto an NFL field, Brock Bowers looked nothing like a rookie. He instantly became the Raiders' go-to weapon and made history along the way. But his first season was more than highlight reels. It was a glimpse at what the next generation of NFL tight ends looks like, and it was a scary sight for defenses. But just how good was Brock Bowers' record-breaking season?
Well, he should be Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie Offensive Player of the Year. Don't give it to a quarterback. He deserves it.
The Las Vegas Raiders entered the 2024 season as a disaster waiting to happen. Josh Jacobs was gone to Green Bay, Davante Adams had one foot out the door chasing Aaron Rodgers, and the quarterback job came down to Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell. Two question marks competing to lead a team dangerously low on weapons. The expectations hovered somewhere between grim and non-existent. Then, Brock Bowers came bursting out of the gate like a thoroughbred. 6 catches on 8 targets for 58 yards in Week 1 and 9 catches on 9 targets for 98 yards in Week 2. By Week 5 in Denver, Bowers was on fire, hauling in 8 of 12 targets for 97 yards and his first NFL touchdown.
Over the middle, jump ball, and it's Bowers down the sideline. The rookie from Georgia with the game's first score.
From that point on, the rookie was chasing history, even if no one knew it yet. Once they realized what they had, the Raiders lined Brock up everywhere. In line, in the slot, split wide, and motioning across the formation to pull defenders out of position. Corners bounced off him, safeties lost him in traffic, and linebackers couldn't keep up. By the end of September, the rookie tight end wasn't just the offense's best option, he was arguably the entire offense, and with every game, a once unreachable number kept getting more, well, reachable. Mike Ditka's 1961 rookie tight end record of 1,076 receiving yards, a record that had stared down decades of greats and never blinked. Every week for 4 months, Bowers closed the gap. Every catch brought him closer, and by December, the number wasn't some distant milestone. It was staring him in the face. And in Week 17, under the lights in New Orleans, Brock was one play away from tearing a page out of history. Before playing the role of savior in Silver and Black, Brock Bowers was a legend in Athens, Georgia. In every single season he played for the Bulldogs, this kid led the team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Bowers already has 1 rushing touchdown, make it 2.
Not just for tight ends, for the entire team for 3 straight years. Think about that. He did it while sharing the field with NFL-level talent like George Pickens, Adonai Mitchell, and Ladd McConkey. Guys who could take over a game themselves, and yet the ball kept finding number 19. As a freshman in 2021, Bowers walked into Athens like he owned the place and took over an SEC powerhouse with a roster full of Sunday players. Year 2 was the same story. More touches and more ways to torch you. Georgia went back-to-back as national champions, and every defense they faced started with one question: how do we stop Bowers? Like the Raiders would do 3 years later, Kirby Smart used Bowers everywhere. Off the line, split wide, jet sweeps, end arounds, and everywhere he lined up, coverages bent toward him, but it didn't matter. By 2023, Brock was the Bulldogs' veteran leader. He played through injuries, came back early from ankle surgery, and got Georgia to the SEC title game and within reach of a three-peat. The team came up short, losing to Alabama in the SEC championship game. But Bowers had already proven one thing by that point. He was the best tight end in college football and one of the best players in the sport. The question was, how much does the league value that position? No one doubted Brock Bowers could play. The question was whether or not you'd spend a top pick on a tight end. History says teams don't. First-round tight ends are rare. Top 15 tight ends are even rarer. You can count them on one hand in the last 2 decades. Kyle Pitts, Vernon Davis, TJ Hawkinson. The Raiders didn't care. Sitting at 13, they saw a chance to land the most complete tight end prospect in years. They didn't blink.
With the 13th pick, the Las Vegas Raiders select Brock Bowers.
And from the moment he got to Vegas, he looked like the right call. Brock Bowers didn't need a slow ramp-up. He didn't get buried on the depth chart. The coaches moved him all over the formation from day one. And that versatility he showed at Georgia started showing up on NFL Sundays. It wasn't just about the receptions, it was the way he stressed defenses. Safeties creeping up, linebackers getting exposed in space, corners getting dragged for extra yards. By mid-season, the conversation wasn't about whether the Raiders took a tight end too high, it was about whether they just found the centerpiece of their next era. What Bowers was about to accomplish was all the answer the Raiders needed. The number hung over the season like a storm cloud. 1,076 yards. A number that had survived 6 decades of play, countless rule changes, and an entire evolution of the position. Bowers didn't chase it on purpose, at least not at first. In September, he was trying to help the Raiders move the ball, but his production kept stacking.
Deep to Bowers at the 5, and Bowers still going. Brock Bowers bulldozes his way down to the 1.
By week 5, he was seeing double-digit targets in games. In week 10, he shredded Miami for 13 catches, 126 yards, and a touchdown on a massive 16 targets. And with every performance, the math got easier. Ditka's mark wasn't just within reach, Bowers was on pace to blow past it. The talk started in whispers, with announcers noting his totals on the broadcast, beat writers slipping it into midweek columns, teammates glancing at the stat sheet and realizing the kid was chasing history. December came and the pace didn't slow. He ripped off 140 yards in Kansas City and pulled down 11 catches against Jacksonville. By then, he'd become the focus of every defensive game plan the Raiders faced, and it still didn't matter. And that's the thing about this record. It's not just the yardage, it's what it takes to get there. A rookie tight end has to survive a 17-game schedule. He has to stay productive against defenses that have film on him. He has to be good enough that even when they know the ball is coming his way, they still can't stop it. Bowers checked every box every week. By the time they boarded the plane to New Orleans for week 17, everyone in the building knew exactly what was at stake. One good catch, maybe 2, and Brock Bowers would own a piece of NFL history. And somewhere in the back of his mind, he had to be thinking about it, right? You don't get that close and not feel the weight. The Saints had no interest in being a footnote, and the Superdome crowd was ready to make every yard a test. From the sideline, you could see the tension build. Cameras found him between plays. His teammates gave him nods and pats on the helmet. Even the veterans understood the moment. One route, one throw, one catch. That's all it was going to take. The moment came in the second quarter. Bowers lined up in the slot. The Saints showed press on the outside, zone shell over the top. Aiden O'Connell took the snap, scanned left, and fired. Bowers snapped out of his break, caught it in stride, and turned upfield before the defender could even blink.
He was grabbed and then floats it to Brock Bowers, who passes Mike Ditka for the most yards by a rookie tight end in NFL history.
13 yards. That's all it took to rewrite history and take down one of the longest-standing records in the NFL. 63 years after Mike Ditka set the rookie tight end yardage record, Brock Bowers owned it. The sideline exploded. Coaches, teammates, everyone knew they'd just witnessed history. And it wasn't just one record. By the end of the game, Bowers had 112 receptions, the most by any rookie at any position, passing Puka Nakua's mark from just a year earlier. His 1,194 yards set the new rookie tight end standard. Add in 5 touchdowns and you've got one of the most productive first seasons by any pass catcher in league history.
Okay, tight end in the league, baby. You heard that. Best tight end in the league.
Fantasy managers noticed, and by midseason, Bowers was an every week starter. By year's end, he'd finished top 5 among tight ends in PPR scoring and was among the top pass catchers at any position. In a year when the Raiders' offense sputtered everywhere else, Bowers was a cheat code. And that was the Raiders' rebuild year. Now look at 2025. Geno Smith takes over at quarterback, bringing proven accuracy and experience. In the backfield, rookie Ashton Genty joins Raheem Mostert, bringing as much speed and versatility as any tandem in the league. Out wide, the Raiders add rookie Dante Thornton to stretch the field alongside Jacoby Myers, fresh off his first 1,000-yard season. That's more weapons, more threats, and more ways to keep defenses from selling out to stop Bowers, which means more one-on-ones, more mismatches, more chances for him to turn routine plays into game-breaking gains. Breaking Ditka's record was just the trailer for what's coming. With the roster taking shape and a quarterback who can feed him, the sequel is going to be a feature you won't want to miss. The AFC West is about to be a battlefield. Kansas City's looking to bounce back after falling short of yet another title. Denver is on the rise, and the Chargers are retooling with new energy. The Raiders have the tools to make it the most interesting division in all of football. Pete Carroll is in the building now, bringing the swagger and leadership that built a Super Bowl champion in Seattle. He's got experience under center, speed in the backfield, and depth at receiver. And Brock Bowers, a tight end who just put together the best rookie season the league has ever seen. If they can put it together, keep pace, and steal a few games in the division, the Raiders could be right back in the thick of it. And if there's one player who can help make that happen, it's number 19. The rookie year was the statement. Year 2 could be the takeover. So, you tell us, where do you see the Raiders finishing in 2025? Can they run with the Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers, or will this be another monumental letdown for the Silver and Black? Drop your prediction in the comment section below, and if you think Brock Bowers is about to blow the roof off the AFC West, hit like and subscribe to Snap Count because this season's going to be the most exciting we've seen in years.